Hello everybody, welcome to Resin. I hope everyone had a great holiday and Happy New Year. And I had some family here to spend the holidays with me, and my daughter-in-law and I went to get our nails done. And I decided to do this tiger eye, or I think sometimes it's called cat eye gel, okay? Well, when I did that and I got home, of course, it made me think a little bit about what I could do with that with resin. And I'm not sure if this has been done before or not. I did see that Daniel Cooper did something with some cat eye polish, but I'm not exactly sure what all that was. So today I want to show you just really quickly something that I was playing around with because I wasn't even really sure how it would work. But I did try a couple of things to see, and I did get a really cool, it took me a few attempts to figure out how to get that cat eye effect, okay? And I just bought a box that came from Amazon that came with several, all different kinds of fingernail polish, but a couple of them did have the cat eye. And then I did this turtle here, and you see how that really turns, and you can see the effects really pretty well in it. So then I thought, oh gosh, I'm just kind of amazed by that. So I did a couple of different ones. Here's one I just did with like some little cat eye dots. These pendants that I'm using, you can get on Temu or on Amazon. And they come like this. They come in with a little shaped pendant, okay? And then they come with a glass flat-backed cabochon that fits over the top. You can kind of choose if you want to use the glass cabochon on top to kind of magnify everything, or if you just want to do layers of resin. And I did do one, let's see, but I did not use the cabochon. I just did some layers of UV resin, as you can see. And I still got the domed top. This one was not a cat eye. This one just kind of had some depth to it. I don't know if you can see here. And I got a pretty good dome on it, considering there's no cabochon in there. But yeah, anyway, I've had all kinds of fun playing around with these. And so yeah, I thought today what we would do is I would show you how I got my cat eye effect. What I think I'm going to do is I'm using a combination of gel, fingernail polish, and top coats and base coats and UV resin, okay? So what I want to do is, since I've made those on this size, I want to see how this would work on something a little bit bigger. These are actually ornament molds, right? But I thought, just for the sake of trying, I'm going to see if this would work. If it does, I could go up bigger to a coaster, or definitely make these into a keychain or something. I don't have very many cat eye colors. I've only got, let's see, I've only got these 4, okay? So it came with a purple, kind of a hot pink, a dark bluish, kind of an oceany dark blue, and then like a greenish. These 2 colors here are fairly similar. The brand I'm using is Beetles, okay? And this came in a set, I will show you, like this. Came with a nice little plastic stand, which I actually didn't even realize it was coming with that, but I was surprised when it got here. So also had some glitter polishes with it, a little tool here, and also the magnet. If you're going to use cat eye gel, you definitely need a magnet, okay, to make it work. First, I'm going to just do a layer. Whoops. I'm going to do 1 layer of UV resin, okay? And this is just Blue Moon Studios UV resin. I do have a couple of different UV resins I'm going to be trying here in the next week. A couple of different places have sent me their UV resin and some of their colored UV resin to try, so I'm excited about that. But I think before I put my black nail polish directly on my mold, I'm going to go ahead and put a clear base, just because I'm not sure. I have not tested that out to see what it would do. So the top of our mold will be facing up. I'm just doing just a thin coat. And I'm not even going to go up to the top because I'm not going to do that part in the black. It can just be clear later when we're done. It doesn't need to be like hard cured, just enough to put the polish over the top, okay? So now while that is waiting to cure, let's go ahead and do a black base coat on this turtle. I'm not going to do any kind of, I do have a base coat gel, but I don't need it for this. The black works just fine, and it stays right here. Now I'm assuming you could also use colored UV resin or even regular resin if you were willing to give it the cure time that it would need. But I just decided to go ahead and use, since I'm playing around with these cat eye gel polish, I wanted to go ahead and just use polish and see how it would work here. Okay, so go ahead and put the black. This was just black, and as you can see, it's just, I just covered it in black. Not very thick. Go ahead and put that in. Okay, so now this is pretty much cured. I mean, it was only in there 60 seconds. So now let's go ahead and do our base coat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do this one also in black. It's kind of like working with chameleon powders when the black just kind of really helps it show up better. I did do that little turtle, the one with like the polka dots in the shell. That had just a green gel polish for the back, and it worked just fine. So you don't necessarily have to do black, okay? There might be some of you too who are nail artists, and you might have some tips for me as far as how I might make this work a little bit better even. These little nail polish jars are not very big, so I don't anticipate my black lasting very long. This one out, this one in. So now what I want to do, I think I want to go ahead and we're going to use this same green that I used on my other one. I could do the blue, but I think with this color of gold, let's see. Yeah, with this color of gold, I'm going to go ahead and do the green. Now, what I have learned, and this took me a while, those of you who do nails probably already know, but you know, this didn't come with any directions of how to use the cat eye gel with the magnet, so it was really a trial and error. But what I found is that when you put it on, you want to do a thin coat, just like you were doing your nails, okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to take the magnet, and this is the part that you really kind of have to watch, because when I first started doing this technique, I was holding the magnet on way too long. And so right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold it on there until I can see the stripe. See that? And then as soon as I have that stripe, I put it in here to cure. Now, one thing I noticed is that it did help. You definitely do want to shake your cat eye gel polish before you use it. It comes out kind of flat. if you don't. So I'm just going to cure that enough to where it's kind of held there. Okay, so do you see? We have it already. How pretty is that? So I was holding my magnet on before way too long. And then for some reason, it just kind of disappears, your stripe you make. But we've already got a really cool cat eye effect. Okay, so now I'm going to do just another really thin coat, kind of above it. I'm not going to go back over that same one. Just kind of thin here. And try to get the same. Okay, now I've got another line, so I'm going to put it back in. Yeah, I think this is really a fun, kind of a pretty technique. So on this one, maybe we will combine some of these colors. Let's try that. Let's see what would happen if we combined some of the colors on this. Now you can see, like looking through it, I didn't do very thick, so it looks, you can see the light shining through, and that's okay. I am going to start up here. See what we've got so far. You can see our turtle. Look at how pretty. How pretty is that? Okay. I'm going to let that sit there for a second. Let's go ahead and let's try some dots. This magnet that came with this set, this Beatles set, has a magnet here, a round, small round magnet, and then this rectangle magnet. They both feel fairly strong, but this one seems a little stronger to me. So let's just try it and see if we can make some dots with it. Let's see, how is that going to work? So it kind of pushes it, almost like it pushes it away. That's kind of interesting. As you can see, it kind of pushed it away. So let's put that in there and see what happens. Put it in there for 60 seconds. And we'll work on our turtle again. And we'll do another thin coat up here at the top. I'm doing mine in sections because when I tried to do it all at once before, it didn't really work out really great. So that's why I'm doing it this way. See if I can pull up another stripe. Okay, there's a bit of a stripe there, so in we'll go. We'll let those both sit in there for a second and cure. Okay, let's take this one out. Okay, so look what we've got so far. And you see the purple has kind of got a bit of a cat eye effect up there on the top. Now let's go to the pink. I'll just kind of keep going here off of this purple. This rectangle part here, and see if you can see what I'm talking about when it pulls up the stripes. See that? So then now I'm going to go this way because I don't want it to undo what I've done before. Let's see. There we go. A bit more. Sometimes the cat eye, see, this one is kind of spacing out. It's not really working as well as some of the other colors do. Let that go in there. Might have to go over it again. Okay, but here's our turtle, looking pretty good. See that? Okay, now let's do a little bit of a stripe here on the bottom. Just a little bit of a stripe. Let's see here, just a bit here on the base. Let's see, did any come up from that? Huh. Okay, we didn't really get much from that, so let's do another. Might not have put enough on here. Put off of the shell real quick. You know, and I'm definitely still learning about this, you guys. So, like I said, there might be some of you who have already perfected this. Okay. Let's see how that one did. Okay, so here is what we've got so far, okay, with our cat eye effect. And now for the bottom, let's do the blue. It's the blue one. Let's maybe do some more of the dots. And I think it's just going to push it away again. There we go. Let's put it back under here. In the meantime, here is our turtle. And see how it turned out? You see the effects here? Hopefully it's focusing in. My camera, I'm sitting out in a different room in my house today, so my lighting and my angle, everything's a little bit different, but you can really see how that is coming through, and I'm happy with that. So now what I want to do is I'm going to put a top coat that came with the polish, okay? This is the Beetles top coat. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And here's this one out. That looks pretty cool. Pretty cool considering there's no top coat or anything on that yet to bring out some of that depth. Okay, so now we've got the top coat on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in here for 90 seconds. Let that get a good cure. Not real sure how I feel about the pink. It's not quite as effective as what I would have liked to have seen. It was more effective in this one here, but part of it's because we have that cabochon on there that kind of magnifies it all. Do you see the difference in those pinks? I mean, you definitely see it here. Maybe I just need to add a little more. Let's try that. Maybe there's just too much space in between it that's making it not really give it the full effect. That could be. Let's try. There we go. That's much better. Much better. You see that bright pink line? Both of these out. So this one has got our top coat on it. Just a little bit of a nail polish top coat. Let's set that aside. And that definitely brought out the pink. You see that stripe? So let's do that again because that definitely gave it a much better effect. And then that magnet just brings it up into a nice line. Okay, so now we've got our little turtle. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take just my UV resin, set it away from my lamp I've got going on over here. And I'm going to put just a thin layer, enough to cover the whole bottom. Okay, it's like a big old drop like that. Spread it out. I'm going to go ahead and put the cabochon on it that came with it to fit. Okay, so my UV resin is still wet. I'm going to wipe this off, make sure I don't have any, that it's clean on both sides. And I don't want any bubbles or anything in there, so I'm just going to drop it down in here and push it down to make sure I don't have any air pockets. Okay, and then I'm going to wipe it off around the edge before I put it in, so nothing dries hanging over. Okay, that looks pretty centered. You see here. Okay, and I'm going to put it in for 90 seconds, and then we'll keep working on this. So our pink is really kind of coming out better. So I'll stick that in there with that. So here is that. And here is our turtle. Here it is. I really have fun with that cat eye look. I think it's just really got an awesome effect, but super fun to do. All right, you know, so now I feel like we just need to go ahead and top this. So I'm going to put a top coat, which I don't need to do this part. I could just go ahead with the UV resin, but I just want to just do a thin top coat of this same brand. Just thin. So in it goes. I just did a thin coat. You guys might be getting bored, but let's see. Okay, actually, that's pretty. Right now, it's got all kinds of textures going on. But now I'm ready to do the UV resin. And I'm going to go ahead and do a layer of this, and I'm going to go all the way to the top for our hanger. And I'm going to keep it clear. I'm making this fairly thin, this layer here of UV resin, but it's probably going to have to cure for a good couple of minutes. Okay, there it is, nice and clear and pretty. Let's go ahead and stick that in there. We're going to do 90 seconds on that one. I think I'm going to try one more of these. I'm going to do red. I'm not going to put any other base coat on here. This just looks like a really pretty red. Kind of a darker red. Let's see, maybe the pink. Oh gosh, what I actually did is I moved it all over to one side. So I'm going to cure it that way and see if I like it or not. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is just fun. It's just fun to kind of play around with it and see different effects you can get. Okay, so now you do have the cat eye effect right down the center if you turn it. Okay, so we will come back to that, but let's take this out. I think maybe it needs to cure some more. It needs to be, yeah, I'm going to have to cut all this off away and then sand it. You see my edges, but I don't really care about that right now. I can go in and clean that up. Okay, you guys, I lost you there for a second. I went ahead and put the cabochon top on this, if you missed that part, and look at how this turned out. So we have that red, it's kind of, I don't know if the color's showing through. This is kind of a deep red on this side, okay? And then here is that cat eye on the other side that's kind of more of a pink. Then you've got the line down the middle that just is showing how the effect works. And that actually turned out really cool. This is not what I was trying to do at all. Isn't that crazy how that happens sometimes? But I really like that. I like the effect of that. It's fun for Valentine's Day. It's really turned out to be a pretty pendant. So yeah, happy with that. Don't know that I could repeat the process since I wasn't trying to do that, but yeah, really like it. So here are our pieces that we made. I think they turned out really nice. I think this was a ton of fun. Here is this one, bigger. It needs a little bit of, I'm going to do something to the background, to the back of it to make this kind of more useful for a keychain because the back of it's pretty ugly. But, and I might go ahead and do an epoxy top coat on this. But yeah, what do you guys think? You still got the effects in this. And I could see doing coaster or keychains or something with it. Just a little time consuming, but super pretty, super fun effects. Let me know what you guys think about this project. It was a lot of fun, and I appreciate you joining me. I hope that you had fun, and I will see you all next time.